there's been a lot of reporting recently about a couple of unfortunate incidents on flights, one from Paris, one from New York. The DGCA has spoken about this extensively. Is there a sense that perhaps Air India needed to have done things differently, perhaps address this issue more publicly, or try and work with the passenger who was affected more quickly?
Well, I think as we said at the time, there are things that we didn't do as well as we should have, and lessons that we've learned. One of the key things is reporting incidents that happen. Perhaps there was a culture before where things we tried to resolve internally rather than reporting, perhaps, so that they can be taken up by other folk. There are other things that we've done. Clearly, a review of our alcohol policy, which frankly the policy was very much in line with what other carriers do, but educating our staff on how to identify people that are becoming intoxicated and deal with that. And also technology. Air India, as I've previously mentioned, had underinvested in a number of things, including technology over the years. And so many processes were manually based with all the risks and delays thereof. And so deploying more modern technology is clearly part of the solution.
Yeah.
I would like to say, though, yes, that not a day goes by without us receiving some report from crew on behaviour on board the aircraft. And so much of it stems from people consuming alcohol before they even get on the aircraft, or them being upset when they're not continued to serve alcohol on board the aircraft. And in the vast majority of cases, the people that suffer the abuse, be it verbal, sometimes physical, are our crew. And so we've seen over the course of the past few years many airlines, and IATA generally, call out the fact that there is degradation of behaviour on board aircraft. And so this call out, this incident that we experienced, very regrettable. Clearly there's things we could have done better, but I think it's a wake-up call for the industry generally, and for travellers generally, that there is a standard of decorum and behaviour that is required in public places, including on aircraft. And I think it behoves all of us to raise our game, Air India included.
It's difficult to actually ensure that takes place. The passenger is out of, you don't control the behavior of the passenger. You could only tell the passenger what is correct once they're on board that aircraft. But how does one start with that process of educating passengers on what is appropriate and what isn't?
I think we have to be clear in our communication publicly. I think when people do cross the line, we have to hold people to account. Clearly there's gradations of how we hold people to account, but I think also as an industry and as a regulator, we need to take action.
Sure.
In India there is a very complicated process to suspend people from travelling, which is quite unusual compared to most of the world. And I think perhaps there should be a little bit more discretion left to the airline to unilaterally take decisions to deny someone carriage. When they have, particularly when they've threatened crew, when they've threatened other passengers. I think as a society we perhaps need to take a look at this.
Yeah.